Mark, you obviously started off with your uncle Paudie as the manager. Was he hands-on with you, or did he give you any favouritism because you were his nephew?
Jeez, not at all, because you know what, you actually had to work twice as hard to get on the team. There was one day I remember we were playing a game, and we had won the county championship 0-1 and 0-3. So I think it must have been 0-3, and we were, I think, some National League game maybe in Croke Park, and we were staying in the Burlington, but we were downstairs in the morning and he came down, and it just so happened that the 6 Gaelic fellas who were on the panel at the time, and 6 would be quite a large number now to have on a county panel, and down he came anyway, and he just, before he knew it, he was in the middle of us, and of course he was a Gaelic man as well, and he turned around and he said, "Oh jeez, would he spread out, I'd lose my job." He's a scatter. so yeah, it was a lot, but you know, he was Paudie was only there for 3 years when I was 0-1, 0-2, 0-3, and you know, as I said, I suppose we were lucky that we won the county championship. So if you win the county championship, I suppose you and if you're playing well, you will get a chance. But I think Paudie was, you know, listening to what Jackie was saying about Brian Cody, Paudie was a bit similar to that. You know, if you did your stuff, you were on the team, and you know, he would have preached that in the dressing room. You know, that if you hold the jersey, if you play well in the jersey, it's your jersey. So I suppose I would have come across a load of different managers: Jack O'Connor, Paudie, Pat O'Shea, Jack again, and Eamon Fitzmaurice, and they all had great qualities as managers, different qualities, you know, and you know, thankfully we won All Irelands with all of them, you know, but they were all fantastic managers.
You talk about the current Kerry team not being quite up to the standard as probably the teams you were on. Peter Keane is after taking over. What do you know about him, and are you feeling optimistic about the season ahead? Yeah, like I suppose, look, we've been very lucky. We've won 5 All-Ireland minors in a row. That doesn't necessarily translate into senior success, although, you know, if you can maybe take 2 players per year and you know, bring them onto the senior team, I think that would be good for Kerry. Peter Keane has worked with these fellas for 3 years in a row. Jack O'Connor prior to that, but so Peter would know these young lads, particularly the likes of Clifford, Sean O'Shea, these young fellas, Jason Foley, who all played championship this year, and he will know these fellas. Tommy Griffin also, who's trained the Public Skull Kirkagreena team to Hogan Cup success. So you know, they have a good hand at the underage structures in Kerry. But that said, you know, this, I suppose, from minor to senior is a huge step up. I already mentioned Clifford being an exception to that rule, but you know, it doesn't happen straight away. It took me a good few years to make that step up, and I don't think it's going to happen straight away for these fellas. So there's a huge, I suppose, challenge ahead of Peter Keane. To be honest, I don't see Kerry winning an All-Ireland next year. That's not trying to be cute or anything. It's just, I see, you know, the level of physicality that Dublin have. The only team I've seen to match that physicality the last few years has been Mayo. And if there's any, I suppose, template of how to try and beat Dublin, it's what Mayo kind of put in front of them, 0-16, 0-17. And, you know, I'm talking about players with that the likes of Lee Keegan, Aidan O'Shea, Killian O'Connor, big physical men. So, like, you know, we've heard Eoin talking about strength and conditioning coaches and all of that. All these people will have a huge role to play for Kerry if they are to challenge. I think they will challenge. I don't think it's going to be 2019 though.